Good day, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new video series onto my channel, aka my 5 favourite Doctor Who stories from each Doctor. So, originally when I planned this series, I was actually just going to do the TV Doctors, but then I've decided to do basically other type of media, so like Big Finish, comics and books for basically the 8th and War Doctors, and of course with the 14th Doctor. So, for the 8th Doctor, it would be about Big Finish mainly, same with the War Doctor. And then for other types of canon, though, for the 14th Doctor, I'll be adding Liberation of the Daleks into it. So that will basically be a couple of episodes. So this is part 1, basically my favourite episodes from the 1st and 2nd Doctors. So, are you sitting comfortably? Good. So let's dive in. Right then, so here is my 5 favourite William Hartnell stories. So before getting to the actual, I want to talk a bit about the 1st Doctor. The 1st Doctor is very, very young. Left Gallifrey at the age of 226, 227. Around about that point in time from what I've read through the beta canon stuff. And he regenerated at the age of 260 into Troughton. So the 1st Doctor had quite a fantastic life and spent literally having 40, 50 years of travelling through time and space. And I do want to talk a bit about the 1st Doctor, so there will be a video of me talking about each of the Doctors at some point. So I'll be doing like a kind of discussion video on each incarnation of the Doctor. So for my 5 favourite episodes of William Hartnell, so in 5th place we have The Chase. The Chase, it is an absolutely classic Doctor Who story. I actually do appreciate The Chase more than some people do. I know some people prefer like the Daleks Master Plan stuff, but unfortunately I've only experienced the Daleks Master Plan in the Target book. I have got the CD to listen to, but I am literally trying to find the telesnap reconstructions that are available on YouTube. I mean, I'm going to start watching the very, very loose canon type ones. So I'm quite looking forward to sitting through them. I mean, another Cypher guy, he's basically been doing reviews on them, and I quite like his reviews. He's a good YouTuber. He's a good Doctor Who YouTuber. And I really like the way he does talk about the Daleks Master Plan. And of course, I've already done my review on it because I've done the Target book version. But The Chase is an iconic story. One, the Daleks have got their own time machine. The fact that they literally create a robot copy of the 1st Doctor. So basically, to try and manipulate the events and basically get the TARDIS team basically separated so he can kill them. And then of course it comes across the 1st Doctor in a title called The Death of Doctor Who, and that is part 5 of The Chase. But I also love the fact that Daleks have got their own time machine, chasing after the Doctor, Ian, Barbara and Vicky. After basically, I like how they're basically after the Doctor, Ian and Barbara mainly, because Vicky's not really encountered the Daleks. It's more been Susan. And twice the Doctor has encountered the Daleks in his first incarnation, where he went to the home planet on Skaro, used static electricity against them and killed them. Then, of course, he defeated them on Earth, where they tried to invade and tried to turn the Earth into a kind of little plot device of a bomb, put it into the Earth's core and kind of turn it into a bit of a spaceship. And, of course, the 1st Doctor with the surviving humans, Ian, Barbara, Susan, David, all basically stop the Daleks' plan. And then, of course, Susan does end up leaving the Doctor. So, the Daleks want revenge, and I really quite enjoy like the whole visual effects. Now, Peter Purves makes his full-on debut in Doctor Who in this one. Obviously playing a kind of really bad knockoff of American, where he's there at the Eiffel, where he's literally there in Paris at the Eiffel Tower, and he goes, "Oh, gosh darn it, yeah," like that. And I'm just like thinking, that is not Peter Purves. No way that is Peter Purves. And I'm like, okay, that is Peter Purves. And then, of course, in the couple of last episodes of this story, he becomes Stephen Taylor, who basically just become a companion to the 1st Doctor at the finale in point to this point. And then, of course, he travels to the 1st Doctor in season 3 until he leaves in The Savages, which I've got the audio, but I still need to listen to it. So it's a quite nice introduction to Stephen. I like the fact this is in a Barbara's departure. I like the monologue between them when they get back in time, and of course Ian's face where he sees the title like that, and it just says to be a normal police box. So yeah, I do got some great moments of The Chase, and I do quite enjoy it. And I do like the 1st Doctor with him being quite stubborn. The fact he doesn't really want to get rid of Ian and Barbara, that he's just basically being the Doctor stubborn. I actually quite enjoy it. Then of course in 4th place we have The Time Middler. I absolutely love The Time Middler. Time Middler, it is a story. We have fantastic. Set in the year 1066. Now, 1066 is one of my favourite years of history because of the Battle of Hastings that with William the Conqueror. I really loved the Battle of the Hastings. Finding out stuff about it back in school really made my day, because I absolutely love that piece of our history, 1066. And of course, you got a Time Lord basically meddling, aka the meddling monk. Now, Time Lords aren't really supposed to interfere, but in our case, we see the Doctor interfering. We have the meddless monk, the meddling monk, basically meddling. Then, of course, we have the Master who interferes, and of course the Irani. So the fact this is before the Master and the Irani, this is basically just a Time Lord who's basically going around causing trouble with Earth's history and trying to do what he wants to do. It's really a great way, and I like how the First Doctor kind of breaks his like circuitry in the TARDIS. So the TARDIS is smaller in the inside and it's on the outside. So when he looks in, he can't get into it. He goes, "The Doctor's trapped me here. He's trapped me here." Like that. I really do find that quite funny. And I like the First Doctor in this one where he says, "I will give you the piece you need back for your TARDIS at some point in my troubles." But then, of course, the meddling monk does basically appear in the Daleks' master plan. But I do really enjoy the time with it. It's an absolutely iconic story and absolutely brilliant. Next is the Aztecs, another famous, one of my favourite topics that I learned in school in history, aka the Aztecs. Set in Mexico, not in the 15th century, Barbara gets mistaken for basically a kind of god. And really, you got the Doctor giving us that one fantastic line, "You cannot rewrite history, not one line. Believe me, I know. I know." I really like that line from the First Doctor, Edgar William Hartnell. I love the fact the First Doctor accidentally gets engaged at this point, which is really does make me chuckle still. Really, really does make me chuckle. That the First Doctor ends up basically getting engaged. The fact Barbara is basically trying to stop them from sacrificing people, and it doesn't go her way. They're still sacrificed at the end of the story for the Rain Guards. I actually really quite enjoy it, and it's absolutely brilliant. The Aztecs is a brilliant, fantastic little four-parter, and it's my favourite story from season 1, to be honest with you. Some people say, "Oh, it'd be the Daleks who's the favourite story." No, no, no. It's the Aztecs. The Aztecs is literally my favourite story from the 31st season of Doctor Who. Then, of course, in second place, we have the final story from season 3. Season 3, it is kind of a season that is partly missing, but we've got 2 stories becoming animated, and of course I have been diving into the wonderful world of Target books, and I've now got on Target books basically Galaxy 4, the Mythmakers, the Daleks Master Plan, and of course that's mainly it, just those 4 stories. And I kind of want to experience more, so I have found on Vintage the Savages and of course the Celestial Toymaker, which I am planning on getting. But I absolutely do love the War Machines. It's just an episode. It is a 4-parter. It doesn't need to be any more than a 4-parter. I really love Brotan. I really love the War Machines in this design. I love the fact when you got the human soldiers literally being like really bad chickens with the guns, and they're running away from the War Machines, and the First Doctor is just there in his cape and his scarf with the hat on, and he's literally just there proving that he won't be intimidated, and he literally just slowly moves up to the camera as the War Machine heads towards him. Now, I don't like Jackie Lynn's character Dodo. Now, Dodo it probably might become one of my least favourite companions. She's my least favourite companion at the moment, but she might become less of a least if I enjoy her in the animation form of the Celestial Toymaker. Because saying that, I've only seen like 2 episodes, full-on stories of hers existing, which is the Ark and of course the Gunfighters, which to me ain't 2 great Hartnell stories. They are definitely a few of the weaker ones. Because the Ark feels like it should have been 2 separate stories. It should have been like we had the actual first 2-part episodes of the Ark, then have an episode in between, and then go back to the Ark. It should have been a bit like that. But the fact that it actually have 2 stories and combined it into one, it's very, very muddled. And I need to do a review on the Ark. I need to go back and revisit it and talk about the Ark. And I just don't really enjoy the Ark. And then, of course, I really do not enjoy the Gunfighters because I get so put out with that song that's playing in it. I really get put out of that. So I kind of do want to get the Target book, see if I do appreciate the Target book version of the Gunfighters, see if my opinion of it does change for the Target book. That makes me want to go back and revisit the story. Because then I've only watched part 1. I can't get through it. I can't get through part 1. I literally turn it off after 5 minutes. I just can't get through it. And I am sorry to say that. I just literally can't get through the Gunfighters. But the War Machines, it is a fantastic episode. It introduces us to Ben and Polly, who are basically 2 of my favourite companions for the first and second Doctors. Definitely not in the top 20, but they are in basically in the from 20 in the top 30. So yeah, I do quite enjoy them, and I really do love the War Machines. As the First Doctor shows, he won't be intimidated. So then, of course, we have my favourite Hartnell story for the First Doctor, the Dalek Invasion of Earth. This has been my favourite Dalek story for Hartnell, basically, since I was a child. I first watched this when it first came out on DVD back in 2003 with my dad. And then 2 years later in 2005, I went to stop at my aunt and uncle's, and I bought this in HMV for only £10 at the time. I absolutely love the story. I don't get why some people have to put it down, because I have seen YouTubers really do put this story down. For me, this is literally the best Hartnell story. One, it's got great film and location work of London. Two, the Daleks look absolutely amazing. I really love that shot with the Dalek coming out of the Thames at the end of part 1, where you got Ian and the Doctor being faced by the Rubbermen, and Ian just goes, "When I give the word, turn and dive in the water." Now, and they're like, well, like that. And just to see this Dalek coming out of the Thames is absolutely cracking, absolutely cracking. I love the fact how the Daleks try to robotize the First Doctor, and basically the attack on the rocket ship base, on the Dalek ship, basically goes wrong, and the Doctor gets free. And then, of course, the Doctor does play his part in basically destroying the Daleks, where he literally goes to the comm bit with Barbara, and she's there telling him, and he goes, "Attack the Daleks, attack the Daleks, attack the Daleks." Like that. I really love Hartnell. I really love Hartnell. And I just really love that goodbye speech to him with Susan, where he goes, "Now, listen, Susan, please, I've doubled the doors so you can't get in. Now, step back, my child, so I can look at you. Now, over the years, I've been taking care of you, and you in return have been taking care of me. Not any longer, Susan, you're still my grandchild, and you always will be. But now, you're a woman, too. I want you to belong somewhere and have roots of your own. With David, you may be able to find those roots. And believe me, my dear, your future lies with David, and not with a silly old buffer like me. One day, I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties. Just go forward in all your beliefs, and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine." I really love that goodbye speech. It's absolutely perfect. Absolutely brilliant speech. I really do love the Dalek Invasion of Earth, and I do know it all by heart, as you just seen. So yeah, that is basically my 5 favourite First Doctor stories. So now join me for my 5 favourite Second Doctor stories. Welcome back. So now we are into my 5 favourite Patrick Troughton stories. Now this one was very, very hard for me to write, because I absolutely love the Second Doctor. The Second Doctor is my favourite Doctor from the 60s. He is my 3rd favourite incarnation of the Doctor. I just can't imagine Doctor Who not existing without Patrick Troughton. So I kind of want to talk about my 5 favourite stories for Patrick Troughton, and basically why that is. So Troughton is basically one of those Doctors that has to have the visual experience. The animations kind of do get that wrong, where the surviving episodes are perfect, just perfect. But for me, some of the animations don't get Troughton's right. I don't know what it is. Every time I watch it, just every time I watch Troughton's Doctor through the animations, some of it gets it right. I mean, there are some great animation stories up there, like the Macra Terror, the Underwater Menace. I do quite enjoy that one. And then there's stories like the Faceless Ones, and of course the Fury from the Deep animation that really does not get Troughton spot on for me. But I do quite enjoy it. So here are my 5 favourite Patrick Troughton stories. Number 5, The Tomb of the Cybermen. So this story was missing for a very long time, till 1992, when it literally came and been found and released onto VHS. I absolutely love this story. It is honestly the first ever Troughton story I kind of watched as a kid, because this came out, believe it or not, back in 2002 on DVD. And at that point in the early 2000s, I was literally watching John Pertwee's Doctor, and of course Tom Baker's Doctors, and Peter Davison's Doctor. So I kind of was growing up basically watching Pertwee, Baker, Davison, McCoy, and Colin Baker. So kind of experienced Troughton, and of course this was actually my first proper 60s Cyberman story as well. And I just absolutely love this. I love the planet Teros. I love the cyber base. I really love Turboman. I really love all the finished creatures that thinking they can do whatever they want with the Cybermen. The Cybermen will do what they say because they are the saviours of the Cybermen. And it goes completely wrong, because the Cybermen end up killing half of them. And of course, Toberman ends up being partly converted. And of course, the Doctor says to Toberman, "Please, Toberman, close the doors. Just close the doors." And Toberman kind of gets killed by... But I love it. This story also makes the very first appearance of the Cybermats. It makes the very first appearance of the Cyber Controller. And I really love that battle scene where literally you got Cyberman picking up the Cybertron and he literally just throws him onto the panel. You just got Cyberman going like that, and you just got the robotic voice. I absolutely love this story. Tomb of the Cybermen, absolutely brilliant Troughton story. Honestly, it is. Number 4, the Macra Terror. I absolutely flipping love the Macra Terror. This is because of the animation. Now, I do have the Target book. I haven't read it yet, but I do own the Target book. I need to read it. I absolutely am looking forward to reading the Target book, but the animation, my God, I absolutely love this story. This is one of my favourite animations for the Second Doctor. Now, the animation makes the Macra look so creepy. I don't think the live action one would actually ever pull this off. So the animation really pulls it off. It doesn't matter what version you're watching it. It doesn't matter if you're watching it in colour. It doesn't matter if you're watching it in black and white. It still looks fantastic and just brilliant. Honestly, it just looks so good and so perfect. I absolutely love the Macra Terror because it looks so creepy. I love the fact they take over the human colony. I love the fact they are intelligent. Now, the fact we go from the Macra in this story where they're literally very intelligent and basically plotting and doing whatever they want. And then when you get to Gridlock, they're just mindless, savage beasts. I basically don't really care for the ones in Gridlock, but these are the Macra I absolutely am happy to know of. I absolutely love them. I mean, they are intelligent, the way they enslave the humans, the fact that basically the Second Doctor, Jamie, Ben and Polly are the ones to save the day for the human colony and basically defeat the Macra and everything goes back to normal. I really love the animation. Honestly, I just absolutely love the animation. It's absolutely brilliant. Then, of course, in third place, we have the very first animation ever to come out for Patrick Troughton in full 6 parts. It is The Power of the Daleks. Now, some people would have put this a bit higher, but the fact that are literally 2 stories I flipping love, and they really are neck and neck for me, really neck and neck. But in third place, it has got to go to The Power of the Daleks. And I'm so sorry to another Cypher guy, because I know he loves this story. I know the animation is perfect for him. This story is just brilliant. It's written by David Whittaker, who really knows how to get how manipulating the Daleks can be and how menacing they can be. I really love Patrick Troughton in this story. The animation gets it spot on. I really can't imagine this story, and it doesn't matter if it's missing, because the animation really gets Patrick Troughton spot on, which is the one thing I love about it. I really like Patrick Troughton's performance in this. Now, I know the animation is going by the audio, not actual, but they do the actual thing. They actually go by the performance of Troughton. I really love the story because, one, it is set on the planet Vulcan, not the Vulcan from Live Long and Prosper of Star Trek. It's literally a human colony on the planet Vulcan. I love the Mercury swamps. I love the fact the Daleks get found by Lesserton. I love how in denial Lesserton is, especially when the Doctor's there trying to warn him about how menacing the Daleks are, what they can do, and what basically they would do, and that they would actually do anything to get their own way. And of course, I love the fact how the Doctor basically uses static electricity against them, which is honestly just one thing I love about the story. It's just absolutely perfect. Honestly, absolutely perfect. Then, of course, in second place, we have The Seeds of Death. This is honestly my second favourite story from season 6. Now, number 1, you probably guess what number 1 is, because I have said it over and over and over and over again on this channel over the last couple of years. But The Seeds of Death, it is an iconic story. I don't hear many people praise how good this story is. 1, this is actually my favourite Ice Warrior story. 2, Patrick Troughton is phenomenal in this one. 3, I really do enjoy Jamie and Zoe. 4, I really love the whole plot of the story. So the Ice Warriors have took over the moon base of Tiamat and basically want to get control of the Earth by sending little pods of death, which is basically like bubble foam. And I really love the way how Patrick Troughton's reserve it. She goes, "Oh my word!" And so she covers his mouth with the cloth and goes, "Jamie, so he's just banging on the door." And of course, you got this big giant gas bubble actually going, and he goes, "Oh my word!" like that. And he's just there banging on the door, trying to keep his eye on it. I have got some great iconic scenes in this one, like where he's there running down the corridors away from the Ice Warriors, where he's there going like that, and he literally goes, "Oh my word!" like that, and he's literally running down one corridor. You got the mirror thing where he's literally like that, going like that, and then like that moving, and then of course you just got the Ice Warriors kind of going like that. I really love this story. The Ice Warriors are absolutely perfect. This is my favourite Ice Warrior story. I really love the rocket scenes as well. I do want to do my review on The Seeds of Death at some point. So let me know in the comments if you actually do want to see my review on this story, because I absolutely genuinely love this one, because it is literally the best Ice Warrior story in my retrospect opinion. I just really love it. I really love it. This is literally my second favourite Troughton story, and it's always going to be. I absolutely love it. Number 1. So in first place, it has to go to the invasion. For 1, the creepy atmosphere. 2, the return of the cyber planet since the Wheel in Space. I have watched the Wheel in Space, by the way. I watched the Taste That Reconstruction when it was on BritBox, before BritBox was taken over and turned to ITV Hub or ITVX, where some of it where Doctor Who's took off it to go into BBC iPlayer. I absolutely love this. I really do love this story. 1, the Cybermen don't come into it until round about the finale of part 4, and then you got 4 episodes of the Cybermen invading London, coming out of the streets, going down to Cathedral, and you just got that fantastic automatic sound with the Cybermen coming in, and they're so creepy and so atmospheric. And I really love Patrick Troughton in this one, where literally he's teaming up with the villain to try and stop the Cybermen. And then, of course, you just got Cybermen coming through the doors after they killed the villain. And they literally point a gun and it goes, the Doctor just goes, oh, 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 like that. And then, of course, you got the Brigadier go, Doctor, get down. And the Doctor goes like that. And then you got that woman who basically is the photographer, and he goes, what are you doing? I just want to take your picture, Doctor. And he goes, oh yes, of course, that's that. He's looking at the belt with his hair, and he's straightening his bow tie. I really love it. I really love it. I really love it. I really do. So that is my 5 favourite Hartnell and my 5 favourite Patrick Troughton stories from the first and second Doctors. What are your 5 favourites? Let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. And stay fantastic viewers and subscribers. I hope you all love my channel. I hope you all love this content. So in the comment below, let me know if you want to see my review on the Seas of Death, because it's just the one review I really want to do the most of. But at the moment, tomorrow I'm doing my review on Boom, and then of course on Monday I'm trying to get my review out on a Tom Baker story, the one I've just recently watched, and that is of course Terror of the Zygons. So let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share, and of course join me for more awesome Doctor Who content.